March 1943.
Somewhere in the North Atlantic, Convoy SC-122, 51
crawled through freezing darkness at 7 knots.
They had no idea that 40 German U-boats were already waiting beneath them. What happened next would decide whether Britain lived courtinged or starved.
To understand SC-122, you have to understand what Britain was facing.
By 1940, the United Kingdom imported 55 million tons of supplies every year. Food.
Almost all of it came by sea.
Cut those supply lines, and Britain didn't just lose the war.
Britain collapsed.
Silent. Invisible. Deadly.
By 1942, Germany had over 300 operational U-boats prowling the Atlantic. And they were winning.
In just the first 6 months of 1942, U-boats sank 585 Allied ships. Nearly 3 million tons of supplies lost.
The Battle of the Atlantic.
Germany's most lethal innovation wasn't the U-boat itself, owning. It was how they used them.
Admiral Karl Dönitz developed the Rudeltaktik, Paskund, the wolf pack.
Instead of hunting alone, U-boats spread across vast stretches of ocean in patrol lines hundreds of miles wide. The moment one submarine spotted a convoy, it didn't attack. It followed. Silently.
Radioing its position back to headquarters in Lorient, France.
One by one, other U-boats were vectored in from across the Atlantic.
They gathered.
They waited for darkness.
Then Hiller. All at once Feinwindhand, they struck from every direction simultaneously. Escorts couldn't protect every side. Merchant ships had nowhere to run.
The wolf pack didn't just hunt convoys. It overwhelmed them.
On March 5th, 1943, Convoy SC-122 departed New York.
51 merchant ships in a formation, 9 columns wide, tier.
Achilles, stretched across 10 miles of open water. Loaded with 180,000 tons of cargo kummers. The band, sand, sugar, frozen meat, ammunition, aircraft fuel. Enough to keep Britain running for another few weeks. Escorting them Spaffy, a handful of destroyers and corvettes. They had crossed half the Atlantic before the first U-boat found them.
U-338, patrolling alone, spotted SC-122's smoke trail on the horizon. Its captain did not attack. He transmitted one signal tudence and waited.
Within 24 hours, 40 U-boats were converging on SC-122's position from across the North Atlantic. The trap was already closing.
The night of March 16th, 1943. No moon. Seas running at 20 feet.
Temperature nosing, -4 degrees Celsius. The U-boats struck after midnight.
Torpedoes came from port, starboard, ahead, and astern simultaneously.
There was no warning, Cassetta. Just explosions tearing through steel hulls in the darkness.
Ships carrying aviation fuel didn't sink, God. They detonated.
Crews had minutes, sometimes seconds. SS Kingsbury!
One by one, ships disappeared beneath the North Atlantic. The convoy kept moving. Escort vessels couldn't stop to rescue survivors. Stopping meant dying. Survivors in lifeboats watched from the water around them and kept moving. In 72 hours, 22 ships sunk, over 360 men dead, the largest convoy battle in Prune. The North Atlantic had never seen anything like it, and the world would never forget it.
But March 1943, the month of Germany's greatest Atlantic victory, was also the last month they would ever have one.
Unknown to the Germans, British codebreakers had cracked the German naval cipher. Every U-boat position.
Convoys began routing around U-boat patrol lines. The wolves were hunting empty ocean. New, very long-range aircraft closed the mid-Atlantic air gap, the 600-mile stretch of ocean where U-boats class. For the first time, submarines couldn't surface safely anywhere in the Atlantic.
New technology flooded in Dissect. Radar that U-boats couldn't detect. New weapons that attacked submarines without losing card. The hunter became the hunted.
The Atlantic was changing hands, and the Germans were running out of time.
May 1943. The Germans called it Schwarze Mai, Black May.
In a single month, the Allies sank 41 German submarines. More lost in 30 days than one after another. Week after week. The Wolf Pack was being destroyed. On May 24, 1943, just 10 weeks after the triumph of SC-122, the order came.
The hunting grounds that Germany had dominated for 4 years were abandoned. He wrote in his war diary said, "The convoys kept sailing. Britain kept eating. The build-up for D-Day could begin. The war could be won."
The Battle of the Atlantic lasted 2,074 days, longer than any other campaign of World War.
But Germany paid an even heavier price. Of the 40,000 men who served in submarines, the North Atlantic is the largest military graveyard on Earth.
Beneath these waters, history was decided. Every week, we bring you the stories that textbooks forgot.
Please subscribe for more videos.